baby. We are live in effect. You are the place to be. This is the Locker Room Show. I'm your host, Coach Wood, and sorry for the delay. We had to get everything right on the tech side, but we've got an amazing show lined up for you tonight. If you're used to joining us in the Locker Room Show, I know you don't see the guru with us. He's in Houston, 102 temperature, and he loves us and would definitely love to be a part of this show since he's a DB. But he's sending his wishes for us to have a great show. And if you're a praying person, please pray for the guru to be back next week. But we've got the man that we need to have. You guys. I know some of you younger athletes may not know about this gentleman, but he was a bad man. He's got an amazing story. He gives back to the community. This show is going to be fruit for you guys out there that want to do things the right way. So let me stop playing around. Let me introduce this man that is an HBCU legend, two-time NFL Super Bowl champ, 13 years in the league, none other than the great Tyrone Poole. How's it going, Ty?
Coach Wood, thank you for having me on your show, Locker Room Show. I want to thank God for this opportunity and welcome all those who are tuning in.
Yes, indeed. So we're excited to have you on, Ty. I know you're a busy man, so thank you for your time. I mean, obviously, I know you've got some amazing nuggets to give us just from all that you've experienced and been able to accomplish. So let's get right into it. I mean, if you're joining us for the first time, all of the topics are on the bottom ticker. And this one's a big one. HBCU, from the HBCU to the NFL, Fort Valley State. Obviously, that doesn't happen for many. Why do you feel like that was able to happen for you, Ty?
Well, let's start back. How did I get to Fort Valley? That's probably the main question people ask. How do you get to Fort Valley? And for those who don't know, I quit football in high school. My senior year, halfway during the season. And after the football season was over, everybody else getting scholarships, and I wasn't. Now, if anybody know anything about LaGrange, Georgia, LaGrange high school football, it's a tradition. We pump out like athletes like day and night, right? I quit football and I did football and track. So there was an alumnus from Fort Valley State. She was a teacher at LaGrange High School, and her son played football at LaGrange High School, and he was at Fort Valley. So just like any other alum, they're going to try to, get talent to their school. And She asked me, she said, Tyrone, where are you going to college? And she knew I was talented, right? And again, like I said, LaGrange High School, anybody that know about our tradition, we are the second winningest high school in the state of Georgia. Let me say that again. LaGrange High School, look it up. Behind Valdosta High School, you'll see LaGrange High School as the second winningest high school program in the state of Georgia. So again, like I said, we a great pool of talent in that area. So anyways, she put me on the bus and I went to Fort Valley. And when I did get to Fort Valley, I was like, wow, man, I'm like, my high school, our weight room bigger than this here, man. I'm like, but at the end of the day, I just saw Coach Wood another opportunity to play football again, to right what I did wrong. I made a bad decision and made that decision out of emotions. And that's why young people or anybody, you don't ever want to make a emotional decision in a temporary situation, because if you make the wrong decision going off your emotions, it could last a lifetime. But for me, praise be to God, I was so talented. Someone recognized my talent and said, hey, let's go to Fort Valley. And I could have easily gone to Albany State. I could have easily have gone to Alabama A&M or somebody from the University of Georgia might have said, hey, I'm going to talk to the coach there and get you there, right? But that's how I got to Ford Valley. But it was dedication. It was desire. I tell people, when you are disciplined, and I believe this is what helped me, discipline caused me to create habits. And those habits eliminated distractions. Now, there were guys, coach, that were more talented than me. So when people look at me and they say, hey, man, you're fast, or hey, you can jump, or hey, you can whatever, I have to say, if you think I'm fast, if you think I'm quick, you need to go back and look at some of the guys I played in the neighborhood with. It's kind of like Jackie Robinson. You know, Jackie Robinson, he was good for the cause, but was he the most talented in the Black Negro baseball league? Satchel Paige was talented, right? Josh Gibson was talented, right? So again, if you think I was talented, man, you should go back and look at some of the other guys that I was scared to run against.
Oh, yeah, no, that's amazing right there. And whoever that was that helped lead you to Fort Valley, they probably need a check from Fort Valley too, because you became a Hall of Fame member, and I'm sure that they were glad to have talent like you. When did the light bulb come on, Tyrone, that you actually had an NFL shot? I mean, there's a difference between balling out at a HBCU and actually having scouts take you seriously. When did that light bulb come on for you?
Well, be honest with you, it didn't happen. I didn't think about the NFL. Now, I grew up just like anyone. You grew up with your favorite athlete, your favorite team, and you tried to mimic that person no matter who it was. And for me, it was the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Dorsett. I used to get a T-shirt and get a crayon or a marker, and I would put 33 on the back of the shirt, on the front of the shirt, and I would write Dorsett's name on the shirt, right above where the nameplate goes. And funny thing about that, you know, I grew up in poverty, cheese and powdered milk, and I know all about that. And my mom used to get on me. She used to say, "Boy, what you messing up these clothes for? You know we don't have money to be buying you shirts all the time." So there were times where I had to wear that T-shirt up under my shirt that I had to wear to school. I didn't have too many, but the light really didn't come on until my junior year in high school. And I feel like what got me to that light was the fact that I just had passion about fitness. And I'm here to tell everybody, regardless if it's sports or whether it's business, if you can discover who you are, what you have, and what you can do, then your talent, don't chase money. Chase being the best person that you can be. Because when you find out who you are, what you have, and what you can do, then that is what's going to attract the people who are going to turn the light on for you. So for me, I chase fitness. I chase who I was. I love working out, and I still work out to this day. I'm passionate about it. So my passion for fitness brought me to the light of understanding that, hey, you got enough talent that you developed that you could really go into the NFL.
I love that right there, you guys. So he's saying follow that passion. That's going to give you the drive, the work ethic, and then the opportunities come. So that's a great word right there. We are on to our next topic, you guys. And this one, I was excited to talk to you about, Tyrone, because you've been on multiple teams once you got to the NFL, and very few can even sniff a 13-year career and everything that you accomplished. But I know that took some adjustments. I knew that took you learning some new defenses, learning some new coaches, and some new schemes. So I wanted to ask you, because we've got kids that are a part of our program, and they're on a new team now. They just got to a university. What are some tips to assimilate with a new team, to get on a good foot with some new teammates and new coaches?
Well, a wise person once told me, every person needs to know their limitations. So first and foremost, you got to know your strengths, you got to know your weaknesses. If you know your strengths and your weaknesses, you're always going to put yourself in a position on a team that you can maximize your abilities to help them maximize their vision. And for me, every team that I played on, I have to say this, I started on that team. I didn't just play on that team. Now, again, I could talk about that. How did I accomplish that? But it goes back to discipline. It goes back to habits, and it goes back to distractions. But what I learned is I am a man-to-man corner. Coming from an HBCU, that's what we did. Wherever he goes, you go with him. White on rice, as they would say. If he goes to the restroom, you better be there to give him some toilet tissue, what have you. So, bottom line, wherever he go, you better be right there with him. So every team that I played on, the concept was man-to-man. So again, knowing who you are, what you have, and what you can do, then you will always put yourself in position to maximize. You will always put yourself on teams that you can utilize your skills at the highest level. So every team I went to, it was just a man-to-man concept. So it wasn't that much learning that I had to do, because it's only several ways you can play cover one. There's only a few ways you can play zero coverage, right? So it's not that much learning. It's all about skills.
Yep. And you guys, I mean, he was a hired hitman. I mean, they put him out there on the outside and the nickel, and he could do it all. Like he said, man-to-man coverage, very, very sought after at the next level. So appreciate you sharing that. On to our next topic, you guys, and this is how we hit it. We hit them fast, and this is some great information from a pro's pro right here. Somebody that did it the right way and is giving you guys some great advice tonight. I want to talk to you, Tyrone, about your work in the community, because as we got ready for this show, that was definitely something that stood out. You can't fake working in the community for too long. You've been doing it for years. And I wanted to start off by asking you, one, where did that come from? Was that natural, or did somebody pull you aside and say, hey, get in the community? And then two, with these kids getting the NIL money now, should they feel obligated to get in the community?
Well, for me, I think it starts with the house, starts with the home. My parents, my mom and dad, I grew up with my dad and my mom, and we were close knit. See, that's the difference now versus back in the day. And that's what people are trying to get back. They're trying to get back to family, Sunday dinners and everything, where everybody come over to grandmother's house. We don't do that stuff no more in this day and age. Shoot, most people in their own home rarely eat dinner together. Let's not talk about bringing the entire family together, right? So growing up, that's what we did. Every Sunday, everybody, cousins, uncles, sisters, brothers, grandmother, she don't cook this meal, and we passing around the cornbread, the bowl of mashed potatoes, the green beans. It's a family affair. So we took care of each other, right? So seeing how my granddad would go into the communities, and he would do things even for the family. He would give money to the family. If somebody was in need, they come to him, and he would give them what he had. And I saw that stuff. So I believe that your environment plays a very big role on what produces, what comes out of you in the future. Like the word of God says, so whatever's inside of a man, it comes out of that person. So you can say person. So for me, my environment instilled in me, helping. So one thing I did do when I got drafted by the Carolina Panthers, I would go back home to LaGrange, Georgia, and I would call my dad and my mom, and I would ask them to find people that needed food. And what I would do, I would go to Costco and I would rent a van. I would fly in or sometimes drive down from Charlotte, North Carolina, which was nowhere. And I would go to Costco, and whatever number of families that they found, I would buy boxes of non-perishable goods, and I would, make sure that they ate healthy, from, the meat side or the vegetable side or the starch or whatever the case may be. And that I did all that before I even came across a Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation. And then one day somebody told me, hey, Tyrone, you don't have to do this by yourself. You can form Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation and you can get people to help you. But I was doing it from my heart. I was doing it from what I saw growing up. So, but to answer your question, as far as obligation, I do believe we're obligated to give back because those people who helped you get where you were when you didn't have nothing, I think it's only right to give back. Even if it don't benefit them, you're going to benefit somebody else who is coming along that road and who needs a cup of water. And if there's no water in the barrel, then that person, that starts a generational curse of nobody having anything to quench that thirst. So I think we all should give back. And even if it's not to the people who need it, but somebody's going to come along and they're going to need what we needed when we didn't have it.
I love it right there. So you guys are getting it from somebody that's a philanthropic person. He's saying that he's been doing it for years and he encourages you guys too, but it's the fabric of his family. And I can definitely dig that. So I appreciate you sharing that. Some of you guys getting the NIL money, maybe not so much on the change, and give a little bit back to the community. So this one is a big topic right here, Tyrone, and I definitely wanted your expertise and your opinion on this. We just found out, obviously, that the great Deion Sanders is going through some major health issues, and we're used to seeing Deion accomplish amazing things, but I don't think we've ever seen an active, at least power forward coach, Tyrone, try to coach fighting bladder cancer. And I know that they extracted it from him, but it's still delicate. And obviously he already had the blood clot situation. So I wanted to ask you, Tyrone, when you sit back and you look at Deion's situation, obviously CU, my alma mater, would love to have him coaching, but there's some serious issues here with him coaching. Do you think it should be his call on whether or not he can get through this entire season, or do you think that should be up to the AD and the school to make that decision?
Well, only Deion knows Deion's situation. And I will say this, just like pretty much anybody growing up, that was the guy. He was the guy. I was at Fort Valley State. He was playing with the Atlanta Falcons. So, that was pretty much who I patterned my game after. And would watch him play the 49ers and going up against Jerry Rice. So to see, I say all that to say, to see, that greatness, right, in the situation where he is now, it's like dear to my heart. So I know, like, even his sons, right, how they must be feeling, right? And it made me think of Joe Lewis. Joe Frazier. I'm sorry, Joe Frazier. I was listening to his son talk about his dad and how when he was growing up, he was used to seeing his dad like just dominate people, right? And then all of a sudden he see his dad fight George Foreman, and George Foreman got the best of Joe Frazier, and his son was like, "Come on, Dad, get up, stop playing, But Joe couldn't beat George Foreman. So I think the kids look at Deion like that as well, right? It's almost like it's impossible to believe. But again, it is about the situation. But I think Deion, like I said earlier in this broadcast, every person has to know their limitations, right? And Deion knows his limitations. And I'm pretty sure it's his duty to report to the administration to let them know the truth. And then once they know the truth, then boom, okay, we feel like you can do it. I'm pretty sure he's talked to all the top professionals, and they've told him, yeah, this is something that you can play with, kind of like a coach with, just like a player. Hey, I pulled my hamstring. What is it? It's a grade 1. Okay, you could play with it, right? But you got to be careful. But you could play with it. And of course, like you said and you alluded to, this has never been done before. And I'm pretty sure, Dion would tell you himself, all his life, he's probably done things that other people probably thought was not possible. I did something that people thought was not possible. I came from an HBCU Division II and was a first round draft pick, right? So it's all about how you handle the situation, what you know about the situation. And like I said, every person has to know their limitations. So Dion said he can do it, and his professionals, his counselors, the people that he rely on, told him he can do it. Then hey, go do it.
Let me ask you, Ty, because I thought of this while you were talking. In your heyday, when you were in the thick of a battle, making teams and making money and making plays, if you had got a serious injury like a concussion or something, knocked out cold, is there anybody in your life during your playing career that could have told you, hey, maybe think about hanging it up, and you would have listened to them? Or was it, no, I'm dying on my sword, I listen to my stuff?
That's a good question. And I would say anybody that I would probably listen to, we know, let me go back, let me start with this old saying. The saying goes, you don't know what I'm going through until you walk a mile in my boots, right? So if anybody gonna give me any type of information and I'm gonna listen to you, you got to show me at least that you walked in those boots. Because other than that, you're giving me half truth, right? If somebody come to me and they walked in there in those boots and they've done what I'm trying to do, and they tell me, hey, you know what, based off of my experience and me crossing the finish line, I think you can do it, then I'm going to do it. If they say, you know what, I don't think you can do it, then I'm going to listen. I'm going to take it into consideration. But anybody who hasn't walked in that, has not pursued and walked in those boots, then it's going to be tough for me to digest and accept what you're saying that I can't do it.
Okay, I love it right there. A lot of you young athletes are being told what you can and can't do. Right here, you have a man that's done a lot saying you better get it from somebody that's doing or have done what you're trying to do. So I appreciate you sharing that right there. We are on to our next topic, you guys, and we are ripping and running through the locker room show. We have the great Tyrone Poole. You guys, this is a two-time Super Bowl champ, came from an HBCU D2 to get drafted as a division or a number one draft choice. So this is a huge, huge opportunity for you guys to get some sauce tonight. Right here, we have the great Joel Klatt, actually from my alma mater as well, Colorado. And we all know that he works with Fox and he does his college football deal. And it was very interesting, Tyrone, because he said he already knows, after all of his years of playing and watching football, who the best college football player is that he's ever seen. And he's saying it's the young man from Ohio State, the great Jeremiah Smith, who I think would have probably been a top 10 pick in this last draft, at least top 15. But it got me thinking, Ty. It got me thinking there are so many bad boys that obviously played college football. And obviously these are different eras, but when you think of the Barry Sanders, when you think of the Deons, when you think of Marshall and what Randy did up there, when you think of the Orlando Pacers of the world, HBCU great, Steve Air McNair, I want to ask you, when you think college football and the most dominant players you ever watched or you saw face to face, give me your top three, Ty. Give me your top three most dominant college football players.
That's going to be hard, Coach. That's going to be hard.
It's Joel off. It's Jeremiah up there.
Yeah, so that's tough. But I will talk about one person, right? Okay. I won't give a top three because there's so many that you can give, but I will talk about one person that you showed on this screen. And I had an opportunity to play in a bowl game with that person and how talented that person was. And that was Steve Air McNair. We both played in the Senior Bowl together. Of course, he Alcorn State, and we both played on the same team. We were on the South. And doing practice, one-on-one, this is the first time I ever heard a ball whistle by my helmet, man. I'm like, literally, that dude's arm was so strong, man. I'm like, the ball literally like just went by my ear and it had a whistling sound to it. I'm like, man, that dude. And of course, we saw what he did, in the NFL and at Alcorn. The dude was Steve McNair was a double threat. He could run. He was tough to bring down. He had a running back mentality, a linebacker mentality, and he had a strong arm. So again, a lot of athletes we could talk about, but I just had to bring him up because I actually played with that dude. And I'm like, again, I never heard a ball whistle when it was in the air being thrown.
Wow, that is big right there. And we know we can get it from Tyrone. He's played against so many great people and seen so many. So he said, hey, I can't give you 3, but I'm definitely going to give you 1. And it's Steve Air McNair. And that's why he's on the slides, because you can't forget him as the most dominant player. So we are on to our next topic. You guys enjoying our time with the great Tyrone Poole. Played with so many of my former teammates. I know you played with Dan Graham and a few other guys and won Super Bowl. So we are on to the locker room show, lightning round, you guys, the lightning round. And for those that are joining us for the first time, this is our version, you guys, of word association. Word association. So Tyrone has 60 seconds to give us the first thing that comes to his mind when I say some of the things on my list. All right. So we got the LaGrange legacy player right here. I'm going to say some things that come that, some people, I got some either or, and we're going to see the first thing that comes to Tyrone's mind. So let me get the stopwatch ready because he's got 60 seconds. Now, like he said, this was a fast man on the football field. We're going to see if he's fast in the lightning round. So I'm not cheating him. He's at double zeros right there. You ready to go, playmaker?
Let's go, man.
All right. First thing that comes now, I'm gonna give you a tip. Don't elaborate. One word. Try to go one word to go fast.
I try.
Now, all right. Now we don't do this just for fun, Tyrone. We actually do this for a dinner. We do this for a dinner. So if you can get 15 or more, then it's a dinner on the locker room show. We got to send you some money. It's a dinner on the locker room show. If he can get to 15 or more on the lightning round. All right. Now we give him 1 for tech delay. So even if he gets to 14, he's in the mix because he's in Georgia or wherever he's at, and I'm in California. So here we go. The lightning round. Let's go. First thing that comes to your mind. Number one, Tyrone. LaGrange High School. Go.
Dominance.
Don Capers.
X's and O's.
Favorite pizza topping.
Say that again.
Favorite pizza topping.
Chicken.
Darrell Revis or Champ Bailey?
Revis.
Best wide receiver you ever played against?
Jerry Rice.
HBCUs.
Fort Valley State.
Ty Law.
Smart.
Go fishing or go duck hunting?
Duck hunting.
50 seconds. Spaghetti or chow mein?
Spaghetti.
Favorite sport besides football?
Baseball.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, smart. I know there's 3.
Great job. We'll give him 1 for the road. Are you going sweet potato fries or garlic fries?
Oh, sweet potato pie all day.
All right. So let's add them up as we always do. And then once again, he's got one for tech delay. So if he gets to 15, it's a dinner on the locker room show. All right. So let's go. Number 1 was LaGrange High School, his old high school. He says dominance. We got to look them up for sure. Number 2, Dom Capers, the head coach that drafted him. He says X's and O's. Number 3, favorite pizza topping. He says chicken. Number 4, Darrell Revis or Champ Bailey. He's going with Darrell Revis. Number 5, best receiver he's ever played against. He said Jerry Rice. Number 6, did you play against Jerry in college too? Or no? He was a little earlier, huh?
No.
Yeah, he was a little earlier.
Yes.
Number 6, HBCUs. He says Fort Valley State is alma mater. Number 7, his old teammate, Ty Law. He says very smart. Number 8, going fishing or go duck hunting. He says, let me shoot at the ducks. Number 9, spaghetti or chow mein. He says, give me the Italian spaghetti. Number 10, favorite sport besides football. He says baseball. Number 11, Bill Belichick. He says smart. And number 12, sweet potato fries or garlic fries. He's going with the sweet potato fries. So with the tech delay, 14, he was right there, baby. He was right there to the finish line. So 15 was the number. Great job, Tyrone, with the 14. We appreciate that. So having some fun with us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We are on to the last section of the show. Once again, unfortunately, no guru tonight, but we've got the great Tyrone Poole. Looks like he might have just dropped off. So hopefully we can get him back on for the last portion of the show. But hey, you guys, it's not too many times that you can have a 13-year NFL pro come on live and give you some of his advice. And it's been great. So let's see Ty's back with us. And we're on to the last section, Ty, of the show, the Q&A portion of the show. If you guys are with us live and you do have a question for the great Tyrone Poole, please feel free to put it in. I see some of our great guests. The great Coach Hughes says triple threat. Yes, indeed. I guess, he was talking about Aaron McNair. The great Jimmy Rucker says would have won the Heisman. Yep, if he would have been at Mississippi State. I heard that. And then, of course, Coach Hughes is saying the chicken should have been worth 2 points. Chicken on your pizza should have been worth 2 points. I love you guys. So we are on to the Q&A section of the show. If you guys have something, please feel free to ask. But I've got something for you, Ty, man. I couldn't help but notice, like you mentioned on the show, how big you are into fitness, how big you are into mindset and helping other people. And right here we have your book, The Ultimate Success in the Game of Life, and then also the Food and Fitness, the 52-week trial. So please talk to us a little bit about those two opportunities. I think we got a little feedback, so hopefully we get Ty. Let's see if we can get Ty back. All right, Ty, I don't know if you can hear me, buddy, but I'm here. Maybe we're having a little tech difficulty, you guys, but hopefully we can get Ty back for the Q&A section. Make sure he's okay here. Right, you guys. So, hey, thank you for joining us. We're trying to get Ty back on here, but once again, Q&A section. So if you do have a question for Ty, please, I see you, Jimmy, put it in there, and we'll get that answered as soon as he gets back here on the show. 1 second. And once again, you guys, this is somebody, especially for you young athletes out there, we'll buy some time while Ty's trying to get back on. But some of you guys, especially West Coast kids, don't know about the HBCU opportunity. And it's starting to gain more steam. You saw Travis Hunter. You saw Shador go that route initially. But this guy was a Division II HBCU player playing at 5'8", 5'9", and still went first round, you guys. So to his point, if you're willing to work hard enough, if you're willing to put the grindstone to the test, then some opportunities can come your way. So hopefully we can get Ty back on here shortly to end the show. But once again, two-time Super Bowl champ, very good information about how to survive going from team to team. He's played with multiple teams, you guys, and a 13-year NFL career does not come by luck. It's because coaches love you. It's because you know your position, and it's because they know they can count on you. You know, so you may bounce around as you go up the ranks in football, but if you can make people know that you're a professional and that you're going to come to work the right way and work your tail off, then you're going to stay in the league. You're going to have college opportunities. You're going to be sought after if you can be someone like Ty. Like he said, he started everywhere that he played. All right. So it looks like he might not be able to get back on. So we will end tonight's show. Unfortunately, like I said, we didn't have the guru with us tonight. Pray for him. He's going through a big fever, and hopefully we'll have him back next week. We're supposed to have another NFL great on next week. I'm not going to give you his name, but I'll just say Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain. All right. So, hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight. I'm sorry we couldn't end. A little difficulty right there at the end. But you guys got a lot of information right there from the two-time Super Bowl champ. He's a college football Hall of Famer and an HBCU legend. So if you're getting to the show late, please run it back, because Tyrone had some great information to share with you guys. So, hey, we're going to shut it down. You guys have a great weekend. Football is here, baby, and we'll definitely see you at the top. Have a good one.